Hello, I'm Aaron Pettigrew, one of the Republican candidates for the United States Senate in Tennessee. Today I'm going to begin with Article 1, Section 5. Subsection 1, each House shall be the judge of the elections, returns, and qualifications of its own members, and a majority of each shall constitute a quorum to do business, but a smaller number may adjourn from day to day and may be authorized to compel the attendance of absent members in such manner and under such penalties as each House may provide. In other words, each House is subject to its own rules of meeting and how the committees meet, etc. According to the rules that they set. Subsection 2, each House may determine the rules of its proceedings, punish its members for disorderly behavior, and with the concurrence of 2/3 expel a member. Okay, so again, they set up their own rules and the rules by which they do business, and can expel a member of either the House or the Senate, requiring a 2/3 vote. Okay, that's where impeachment may not really apply to the elected offices. Okay, subsection 3, each House shall keep a journal of its proceedings and from time to time publish the same, excepting such parts as may, in their judgment, require secrecy, and the yeas and nays of the members of either House on any question shall, at the desire of 1/5 of those present, be entered on the journal. Okay, that is how we keep a public record of how the House and Senate vote. And of course, secrecy applies to things that we often call classified now, but nonetheless, it does apply. Subsection 4, neither House during the session of Congress shall, without the consent of the other, adjourn for more than 3 days. Sensitive touchscreen again. Sorry about that. Okay, let's start that section over. Subsection 4, neither House during the session of Congress shall, without the consent of the other, adjourn for more than 3 days, nor to any other place than that in which the two houses shall be sitting. Okay, that means when it's in session, neither one can take more than 3 days off without consent of the other. And it also talks about the place in which the two houses shall be sitting. Well, but when the Constitution was written, Washington, D.C. wasn't built yet. So, that's what that applied to. Article 1, Section 6. Now, the beginning of subsection 1 was changed by the 27th Amendment. Okay, so I'm going to skip on to what applies to the senators and representatives. They shall, in all cases except treason, felony, and breach of the peace, be privileged from arrest during their attendance at the session of their respective houses, and in going to and returning from the same, and for any speech or debate in either house, they shall not be questioned in any other place. Okay, that gives the representatives and Senate some immunity to speak their piece in attendance of the House and the Senate, of course. It also gives them some leeway to take care of what they need to take care of. Of course, there are exceptions there. Treason, which definitely understandable. Felonies, also understandable. Breach of the peace can be interpreted a little bit, but needless to say, it just gives them a little bit of immunity to do their job. That's all it's for. It's not for them escaping justice. Subsection 2, no senator or representative shall, during the time for which he was elected, be appointed to any civil office under the authority of the United States which shall have been created, or the emoluments whereof shall have been increased during such time. And no person holding any office under the United States shall be, shall be a member of either house during his continuance in office. Okay, that means that senators and representatives aren't supposed to also hold paid jobs under the federal government, as well as controlling a bit about their pay and such. And they're, a senator also can't be a representative, or the other way around. Okay, Article 1, Section 7. Well, try that again. Okay, Subsection 1. All bills for raising revenues shall originate in the House of Representatives, but the Senate may propose or concur with amendments as on other bills. Okay, any bill raising revenue, whether, so any tax bill, tariff bill, etc., duties, imposts, all that stuff, okay, can be passed by the House with or without the Senate. Although the Senate may propose or concur with amendments as on other bills. The Senate is not required, and the reason why is because any means of raising revenue by a government is a form of taxation. Doesn't matter what you call it, what part of the chain of economics it's in. Okay, it's still taxation. And so they wanted the responsibility of taxation to fall on the House that was directly elected by the people, and to make them answerable to the people. Okay, there is some contention about this, meaning to apply to spending bills as well. However, the word used here is raising revenue, so that means getting it. It is what it is. Subsection 2, every bill which shall have passed the House of Representatives and the Senate shall, before it become law, be presented to the President of the United States. If he approve, he shall sign it, but if not, he shall return it, with his objections to that House in which it shall have originated, who shall enter the objections at large on their journal and proceed to reconsider it. If after such reconsideration 2/3 of that House shall agree to pass the bill, it shall be sent together with the objections to the other House, by which it shall likewise be reconsidered, and if approved by 2/3 of that House, it shall become law. But in all such cases, the votes of both Houses shall be determined by yeas and nays, and the names of the persons voting for and against the bill shall be entered on the journal of each House respectively. If any bill shall not be returned by the President within 10 days, Sundays excepted, after it shall have been presented to him, the same shall be a law in like manner as if he had signed it, unless Congress by their adjournment prevent its return, in which case it shall not be law. Okay, that has to do with the veto and overriding the veto, and it also means that if a bill is vetoed and it goes to be reconsidered, no matter what it is, it shall be entered on the journal, how people vote and who voted which way. Okay, and it also has to do with a bill not being returned to Congress in time to be reconsidered. That is a de facto signature from the President. Okay, 10 days, barring Sundays, or adjournment of the two houses. Okay, Subsection 3, every order, resolution, or vote to which the concurrence of the Senate and the House of Representatives may be necessary, except on a question of adjournment, shall be presented to the President of the United States. Okay, there goes the touchscreen again. Anyway. And before the same shall take effect, shall be approved by him, or being disapproved by him, shall be repassed by 2/3 of the Senate and the House of Representatives according to the rules and limitations prescribed in the case of the bill. Okay, just confirms orders, resolutions, and other such acts by Congress still must go through the President unless it has to do with adjournment of the two houses. I'm going to stop there because Article 1, Section 8 starts dealing with the powers of Congress, and that's going to require a lot more attention. Thank you for your time. God bless, and have a good one.